Welcome back to another edition of Talk So Real with Matt Sonzala. I'm Matt Sonzala, and this is the podcast where we talk to the good folks of Austin, Texas, and the hip-hop community about their journeys through hip-hop culture and here in Austin, Texas. And I want to say thank you to KAZI Studios and the city of Austin for helping to make this happen. Today, we got a real special guest in the house, Austin legend for sure, CasinoATX. What's up, brother?
What's up, Matt? How's it going?
Man, it's good. I'm glad we reconnected recently because you're definitely somebody I've been wanting to talk to, and if anybody can talk about what goes down in Austin and what's been going down out here, it's you.
Yeah, man. I'm about probably 30 years deep in it now.
Man, yeah. Well, you've always been a figure on the scene, like very central to what's going on.
I was blessed to get hooked up with people that were doing it when I was very young.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like baptized in it at about 15.
Mm-hmm.
And I worked here at KAZI.
Okay.
When I was 15. I got a radio show. We used to come on right before Walt Baby Love.
Wow.
And that was really my introduction to the Austin music scene.
Wow, I don't think I knew that.
Yeah. Marion Nickerson trained me.
Okay.
And this one of my first jobs as a teenager was working here at KAZI back when it was I initially was introduced when it was off of Loyola.
Yep.
And then I graduated over to the off Wall Street. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. Were you playing hip hop?
Yeah. So our show was called Teen Scene.
Okay. Wow.
So Genius had a show.
Mm-hmm.
His show was right before mine. And then my show, I had a 2-hour slot on Saturday. And then Walt Baby Love, the countdown came on right after us.
Okay.
And so it was me, a couple other guys and girls at the time. And that was really my introduction to the Austin music scene. That and going to Reagan.
Right. I remember when we probably met just over 20 years ago, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Yeah. I really got acquainted with you during my run with Gutta Gang.
Right.
And when I was pushing Game Time real hard and all of that.
Right.
Because you got us our first slot ever on South by.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. And didn't you come to Houston too, to the radio show there?
I did.
You guys came down, yeah.
Yeah. I think at that time, man, we were doing so much.
Mm-hmm.
That was some of those years are kind of,
Gutta Gang rolled real deep. You guys rolled real deep. I remember that whole crew back then.
Yeah, we were like Texas Wu-Tang Clan. It was like so many of us. We'd show up places and we were wild too.
Mm-hmm.
So it was it was some wild times. But through what you helped us do, we ended up touring all through the Gulf Coast, and we got Game Time on Billboard. Like it hit Billboard, we were running.
Well, that's what I was gonna say, man. You're one of the people here, and there have been hits, but Game Time was a hit.
Yeah,
at the time, man, that was like a big deal in Central Texas and across the Gulf Coast and stuff, especially, and it definitely broke a lot of borders.
No, it did. What's funny, at the time, I was really upset about it, but things happen. I think. Well, I don't know if I'm a believer that things happen for a reason, but you have to find the reason and why things are happening. And what I walked away from at the end of that time was, I'm glad I just didn't get caught up in being that gimmicky dance stuff, because so much of that song was wrapped around the Heisman dance.
Mm-hmm.
And so when those guys out of Atlanta kind of took the dance and made their own rendition of it, I remember at the time we were like so mad, like we were trying to meet them at this big music conference in Dallas and we were going to fight.
Mm.
And I'm glad it didn't go down, because that probably would have been all I was known for.
Mm-hmm.
And instead, what it made me do was go back and kind of reinvent myself.
Sure.
From a musical standpoint.
But did that group use the same sample? Because you had like the Monday Night Football sample.
Right.
Or
no, what they did was, it's a funny story.
Yeah.
All right, we had went to the Atlantis Music Conference in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
We performed at the Royal Peacock.
Okay.
And it was funny enough, we had just like maybe the month before that, we had opened up for Young Jock. He had came through Austin.
Mm-hmm.
So we're in Atlanta performing, and he recognized our name because, we had a great show.
Yeah.
So he remembered us and he introduced us. So we killed the show. Great show. There were some guys there. I forgot what school they went to, but they saw us perform, and they just took the dance, the Heisman dance, and they made a whole song around that, which blew up. So then it became an issue where people were confusing our groups because they knew we did the dance, but my song was called Game Time. They just made their song called Do the Heisman.
Okay. Oh, man.
Now, here's where it gets real funny.
Yeah.
So ours was just real kind of, we're Texas, players. So we just kind of hit the Heisman, lean rock, hit that. They did some like jump fruity steps. Soulja Boy took the jump fruity steps, cut the Heisman off, Superman. So musically, I'm Soulja Boy's grandpa.
Oh, man. You can claim that.
Nah, it's a joke I say with my friends, but like that was the whole explosion of that whole due to something, because there was a due to Batman, there was a due to Superman, there was doing all of that. And we were like at the early wave of that. And so that's why I say I look back now and I'm like, yeah, I'm glad I didn't get caught up in that. It's just that defining my whole career.
Right.
So.
Well, I will say, I mean, I've talked about this with other people too. Back coming here from Houston for shows, it was like very apparent that Austin was on another level performance wise, especially because everybody here had some kind of routine, had some kind of like coordination of a real show, rapping for real, have a DJ, that sort of thing. It was like in an era of where like in certain places it was just put the tape on and rap over it. And there was a whole different world here. And I attribute it to the city being so live music centric. I mean, you get out there on the stage, you got to show and prove for real, as opposed to like just some nightclub or something.
No, absolutely. And then because we had such a deep pool of performers, you had to, like, this was a town, and still is, I think, in my opinion, this is a town where if you don't have a show, like if you can't get up there and go, you will get buried in just the amount of talent. You could be the best rapper. You could have the best bars. But if you can't get up there and do a show, you will get kind of overlooked here very quickly.
Sure.
And I think that's how I've definitely seen that always as a prideful point for being an Austin musician. And it kind of goes back to what you're talking about with Reno. That's why I think some people do get caught up in the Austin famous, because you work so hard to kind of get to those top maybe 10 spots that you sometimes, even myself at a certain point, got a little comfortable, or I should say content with, okay, I'm in the top 10 here. But that was something I had to shake off real fast. And when we started going on the road and really doing more, I was like, yeah, no, I'm not content with that.
No, you learn a lot when you step out of your city.
Oh yeah,
you learn
tons,
a lot, man. So if you were on KAZI at age 15, I've been asking people this question.
Yeah.
Like, when did you, I mean, if you're there, you probably saw it before a lot of people would, but when did you start to understand that there was a local community of people making this music? Like, most young people don't know that, a lot of these things happen in the bar or something, like, so.
Yeah. No, like I said, I was honestly very blessed. I got it with the year working at KAZI, because my intern, I consider it an internship, because I learned so much, and there are things that I still use to this day. But I was at KAZI for maybe 2.5 years, right? By the time I was 18, I had moved to Houston and I was going to U of H because I was an RTF major.
Okay.
So my whole time here, and then I also worked at Channel 6 for the city of Austin. I was a cameraman there. But those pivotal years in high school, I was, like I said, my mom and I moved back from California, and I was just dipped right in it. So pretty quickly, I learned we had a community. And I was able to pull friends in from school. So with the rap part, I was Nook's hype man. That's how I got my feet wet really into rapping.
Okay.
But the community was KAZI. So when I made the connection with Nook, it was like, well, hey, give me some of your music. I'll get it. We'll play it during my show. Me and Anastasia Hara went to Reagan together. Same thing. She had music out real early that I don't think people remember because, life happens. That's her story to tell. But I was, hey, let me get some of your music. We met Shorty Mac from the SUC super early. we figured out how to make radio edits. We started playing screw music on the air during our show.
Yeah.
We were playing.
I mean, were you editing tape?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My friend Scipio figured out how to do it. He was
Right.
one of the guys on the show. So once we figured that
Cutting
out,
tape, spinning it backwards.
When he figured that out, our show really took off at that point because, and we're talking, good Lord, this had to be like 95.
Yeah, definitely.
So there was like no other radio. We're pre-beat. We're talking pre-beat, pre-93.3. There was nothing but KAZI, and I remember there was an old school radio station on one of the AM dials.
Well, in 1995, I worked at, no, you're right, 1998, I worked at Music Mania, and I remember that was like the first like commercial urban station they tried to do here, and it was a bunch of white people saying they're going to appeal to Latino women. And I talked to them. I remember that talk, and as I worked at Music Mania, I met everybody. You know, and I was like standing there like, just get away from me. What is this?
You know what? No, man.
Listen to KZI.
Bro, my timeline's off. That's where we first met.
Music Mania?
Because I used to come up there with Nook when he'd bring his records. Okay. He just probably didn't know me. I was the hype man. So I was kind of the dude on the side. Okay. But yeah, that's when we first met. Because when you said that, it triggered a memory. I remember me and you talking one day, and I was trying to understand. You were explaining how consignment worked.
Okay.
Because we were trying to get some CDs and stuff in there. And
wow.
Yeah, that had to be like 98, 99.
That's wild. It was then. Yeah, it was definitely then. And man, I miss that store, but we got lots of good record stores here.
Oh, man, yeah.
But Music Mania was something. It was crazy.
It was.
Huge.
Huge. I remember that's where we went, and we were in high school. We would go there every what was it, Tuesdays?
Yeah, Tuesday.
When the new music would drop, I'd be in there for hours combing through all the CDs. That's where you could get anybody that was doing rap or hip hop, they would come do their signings there. I remember trying to get to all of them if I could, if I wasn't working or doing something. It was like that store was so pivotal to the Austin rap story.
Yeah, that was crazy, man. It was really an experience working there because it was right before I worked there right around before Fat Pat died, and when he died, was killed.
Yeah.
And when I say for months, because the official album came out like right after he was killed.
That's right.
And when I say my entire day was got Fat Pat, because you didn't have the internet to say that's coming out February 6th or something. You didn't have all that stuff. So every kid would be like, Fat Pat out yet? You got Fat Pat? And I was like, I respected DJ Screw forever, but I didn't jam Screw, honestly.
Yeah.
That much. I still am not a slowed down music dude, but I appreciate it and I love the community, what it's become and what it is, but it's like, I remember that constantly. And we had screw tapes, and one night they were behind the counter. One night someone smashed the glass door
and just
came in and only took the screw tapes, the DJ screw tapes, not the other mixtapes, not the other slowed down things. Like, whew, and that was, I think somebody sent us a message.
Well, it goes back.
Because who knows where I don't know where those tapes came from. I didn't buy them. But yeah, that was wild.
Yeah. No, I remember like we always went to Shorty Mac to get ours because he was like the official screwed up guy in Austin that you could get the original tapes from. You know who you should interview and really who could probably tell you a whole lot about that? Tosin.
Oh, yeah.
Huge screwhead. I mean, he had all of them. I remember like that's who we would go to if there was one we couldn't find.
He's not getting on camera. I've asked him so many times to do a podcast, do something.
Yeah.
No. He just says no.
Yeah, not everybody wants to be on camera.
Yeah, no, I don't want to be on camera, but we're gonna make this happen.
We'll make it happen.
We're gonna get it working, man. So around that time with Game Time, like it was a pretty dynamic scene here. I mean, was it still Flow Mob and still like around that time? Fastwood Lane.
Yo, man.
First Degree.
Good Lord. So okay. We're talking, I'd say that was one of the best runs I'd seen here because we're talking like you could probably say that run really started around 03, 04.
03, 04, yeah.
And it stretched to about 2008. But man, there were so many groups. You had, like you said, Basswood Lane. I have so many memories of doing shows with them. You'd get us and them on a show, kill it.
real real routines, real everything.
Yeah.
Like there was a show,
Yeah.
ciabatta bread.
Oh man,
All
yeah.
that.
That was also the rise of all of the guys doing really dope mixtapes. You
Yeah.
had Dollars and Cents.
Mhm.
You had Rapper Rick doing his thing. That was the birth of Hella Yella was really
Mhm.
starting to cut his name around that time. DJ LL.
Yes.
Oh man, so many DJs.
I mean, the radio station had Cut Creator on the air.
Yeah, yeah.
LL Cool J's original DJ.
Man, there was so much going on. Dirty Worms were like pumping out some of their best stuff at that time. Oh, there's so many groups I can go on, but and really, we're seeing now I don't think they've hit their full zenith yet, but those years was also the rise of the huge insurgence of the Hispanic rappers.
Oh yeah.
I remember so many groups that I met from South Austin that were Hispanic rappers. Jay Capone.
Jay Capone, yeah.
I want to tell you a quick story about him.
Yeah. Very
Very pivotal in helping Game Time grow. A lot of people in the streets of Austin may remember this, but I had made the song, right? And I made this. I was still producing and everything. People don't realize I made that beat. And I made a lot of the Gutta Gang beats.
Okay.
I had been trying to sell that beat for months. I almost sold it to Dougie D, Zero's brother.
Wow.
I almost sold it to him. Last minute, they didn't bite on it. So kept the beat, ended up making Game Time. It was a joke behind the whole Ricky Williams stuff.
Okay. All right.
So
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, so that's how I ended up making the song. It was a joke. The whole dance, all of it was a joke.
The convergence of cannabis, sports, and music.
Yep. Right?
Basically.
Which is
gonna get
funny.
into all that.
That comes full circle.
Yep.
But so I had made the song. Me and Jay Capone were both recording at a T-Flow studio.
Okay.
You remember T-Flow?
Mhm.
Out in South Austin, right across from where the landing strip. I don't know if it's still landing strip, but out off like right past Montopolis. So Jay Capone was working on a mixtape. And he was like, man, I love that beat. He couldn't get it out of his head. He said, can I put it on my mixtape? Yeah, go for it. That was the first release of Game Time. It was on Jay Capone's mixtape.
Damn.
And I gained a huge Hispanic fan base out of South Austin off of that. And to this day, I always give the utmost respect to Jay Capone because I was from Northeast Austin and, you know, we had like East Side, Northeast, and I was kind of known in that pocket. But he really branched me into South Austin and other parts of Austin that I don't know if I would have connected with as quickly without him, doing that for me.
Man.
And yeah, utmost respect to Jay Capone. And I really started seeing that opened my eyes to so many other Hispanic rap groups and things that were going. And so now you're looking like, 10, 15 years later, and they are running. I mean, the Hispanic rap crowd here is so huge. And sadly, you got some people trying to create division with it, but I'm a full supporter of it because we all grew up together. We're all in the trenches together. We listen to the same stuff. Here in Texas in certain areas, it just goes hand in hand. So I'm stoked to see it. And the fact that I saw it in its infancy to what it's became, because it was kind of that merger from Latin hip hop to just full-fledged rap.
It's true.
It's pretty cool to see. It was pretty cool to see it.
No, for real. It's true. It's very true, man. That time in that era, like we watched in real time the gentrification of the East Side and parts of the South Side still holding on a bit.
Yeah.
But man, that was such a crazy, because Austin isn't small by any means, in my opinion, but it's not a huge city. And you could have such a different vibe from the South Austin or the North or the East.
Yeah.
But it all, when it came together on stage or came together in the venues, it was just generally a beautiful thing, I thought.
I agree. Austin, so it's big in the sense of, I think a lot of people come through here, might spend, maybe 3 to 6 years, and they'll go somewhere else. So you're always seeing new faces. So it's kind of big in that sense. But those of us that have like really made it our home, we all end up knowing each other real quick. It's like the Kevin Bacon game, 6 degrees of
separation.
Yeah. It's probably, especially if you've been here long enough, it might like be 3 or 4, right?
Yeah.
Like we all know each other within a couple of conversations.
I used to actually say this exactly that there are no degrees of separation around here, man, for real. Like
You're probably right.
now more, I mean, there's a lot of new people and things, we all grew up and this and that. But for a while, I'm like, that's what I loved the most about it was such a community. Like I could come when I first moved here, it was like you just start meeting every day.
Yeah.
Go out to the thing, you're meeting people, and it's very much a scene.
Oh yeah. And we're getting back to that.
Yeah.
I'm very excited for what's going on right now.
Yeah.
And that was, I took a long break. I took, long for music standards, but I took a pretty lengthy break. And when I got back into doing music about 5 years ago, seeing the growth back, I'm very much reminded of the years you're talking about from 04 to 08, because I see a lot of people running like that now. And what I really think is dope is this current generation, how savvy they are. There's a lot of things they already know that I literally was doing internships and had to go workplaces to learn. They're just kind of, the ones that are serious, of course, they know how to jump on there and find the information, and they are on it. And that is for a person like me, that's inspiring.
Yep.
And so it's made me okay, now I got to turn up so I'm not left behind. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And so I think we're on the verge of, I would think in the next year or two, we're gonna have one or two, if not worldwide known Austin hip hop folks. They'll be nationally known. I think within the next year or two.
Well, you ventured off into other businesses when you said you took a break.
Yeah.
And one of them was cannabis.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Pioneer that too.
Well,
in Texas.
Hey, Austin's always been a stoner town. So my journey with cannabis has been pretty interesting. Let's see, which parts do we want to talk about? You're right. So I've a lot of people don't know this. While I've always kind of come back here, I wasn't born in Austin.
Okay.
I was born in Houston. My mom was a journalist, so we moved a lot. I've lived in Worcester, Massachusetts. I've lived in Sacramento, California. I've lived all over Texas. So traveled a lot. But being a traveler and the type of person I am, I've always kind of planted seeds anywhere I went. So my later years when I was, so I started off at U of H, and then I ended up moving out to California again. And so I made a bunch of friends. I lived in San Francisco. Made a bunch of friends in the Bay Area. As you progress through the years, cannabis became legal there. Started, doing a little business out there. When I got out of music, I got into doing a lot of, I was trying to figure out how do you use your gifts. So I learned all of this stuff from music. How do I utilize it, right? So I had a regular job, but I was also doing a lot of writing. So I was writing jingles. As the cannabis market was exploding in California, I was writing jingles. So, okay, you got this new strain coming out. Here you go, right? Here's a little jingle or commercial. So when I got back into doing music, Dominican J was like, man, keep doing that. But now actually incorporate it into your CasinoATX brand. He hooked me back up with Optimo. And and I did a whole song and jingle for a strain they had called Cherry Mints.
In Oregon.
Through that, I made some really good friends with the actual growers in the farm. Through that, we saw the emergence of the business here, partnered up with some people, opened a smoke shop. Had a lot of stuff going on here. Made some really good money doing that. Made enough to where I have not had a regular job almost 5 years.
Okay, congratulations.
So found ways to, now of course there's a lot of hustles. I don't want to make it sound like it's just all this one thing. But between the writing that I do, everything else that I do, I was even able to hook the farm in Oregon up with Onyx and Sticky Fingers from them. Worked out a deal with that, get a little piece
Okay.
And, you know, you just find yourself connecting dots. And just with the massive amounts of people I know and my network, with the things that I know how to do, you just try to find ways to where, at the end of the day, you know, if you're an entertainer, it's just really about, you know, how do you sustain your lifestyle,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I'm not saying the one thing about hip hop that I guess bothers me the longest is, unlike a lot of other genres where they understand the starving artist part, it's almost like they expect you to come in and,
Mm-hmm.
you know, you already got to have the hundreds of thousands of dollars and all this jewelry and all of that and everything. And it's like, okay, that's cool, but let's be realistic here, right? So my lifestyle has a price tag. Can I make all of the stuff I do match that price tag? I can. I'm successful.
Mm-hmm.
I'm cool with that. If I could build from there, great. But if I can do what I love to do other business to where I don't have to go be a cog in some machine, I'm happy with that.
Yeah, that's the move.
Yeah.
If you can
And
make a living doing something you love, that's rich.
bro, it's everything's gonna have its stressors. But if you can, like you said, if you can find a way to do what you love to do, to take care of yourself, to me that's success.
Mm-hmm.
That was also, I was lucky to, you know who told me that?
Who's that?
Bushwick Bill.
What? Okay.
A hidden part of my career, when Gutta Gang ended from 2008 to 2010, I was in Houston constantly.
Mm-hmm.
T-Flow, once again, rest in peace, T-Flow. He had introduced me to, at the time, Bushwick Bill's manager, a guy named, funny enough, George Lopez. And I was in Houston constantly working with Bushwick Bill. He also managed KB from Street Military, was with them briefly. He used to be in Fifth Ward Boys.
E-Rock 007.
Thank you,
Low
E-Rock.
Life. Yeah.
E-Rock. So George managed E-Rock, Bushwick Bill, and KB. This is like a small span of time. And so I was in Houston all the time, those 2 years, in and out of Houston. And we were writing, and I was just kind of ghostwriting and doing stuff like that, which is another revenue stream that I've been able to build over the years. And just late night chats with Bushwick. He told me that one night, and he was just like, man, if you can find a way to just pay your bills and pay your lifestyle, you've made it. I was like, okay.
Man, that's dope.
Yeah.
The wisdom of Bushwick Bill, man. May he rest in peace.
Man, he was a genius.
Yeah.
Really smart guy.
For real. Well, what's next musically? What have you got coming?
Let's see. So I just recently dropped an album called Sleep When I'm Dead, which kind of goes with my mantra of life. So I dropped volume 1. I was really happy with it. I had a track with Charlie Boy, got a track with Wacotron on there.
Okay.
Probably my favorite thing on there. So the intro, I got my own day last year. So I used that the mayor talking about me as the intro.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gearing up to drop volume 2. So I don't have a date. I've learned never say a date until you got it finished, but I would like to drop it maybe fall, winter, we'll see.
Okay.
But I did just drop a single called Eat. So that's out right now. Just literally dropped Friday. That's with Mike C. the Champ. I have a studio also in North Austin, me and longtime business partner, my friend Chef Greasy. So we have a studio in North Austin called The Stash Spot. And then we have a production team called Raw with the Daw. I've got 5 awesome producers. We've done tracks for Tum Tum. We've done tracks for Wacotron. We just recently sold a track to Riff Raff. We're just finishing up some tracks we got with Lil Kiki.
Okay.
That's now my big focus. Is to really get my production team off the ground. I have a couple of artists that we work with: Dame Mac, Brookie B, Chan with the Left. And then we're also I'm a big firm believer in putting your money where your mouth is. So I'm totally vested into the local community. We do really, it's economically tough right now, you know, and usually the first people hit are musicians and service workers. So we get, hey, studio time's expensive. We're doing really good cheap rates right now, and I try to get as many different artists in to come record and work. We even do subscriptions,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So we're really vesting back into the community and trying to keep it thriving and keep things going. It's a lot of different things that we do, but that's kind of where I'm at right now.
That's dope.
Yeah.
If people want to know more, they want to get in touch with you, they want to hear the music, where's the best place to find you?
I'm super easy to find.
Mm-hmm.
You could literally Google CasinoATX all together like one word. It's going to ask you, do you mean casino tax? You say no, CasinoATX. It's going to take you to all of my stuff. I teach artists to do this now because sometimes it's so hard to find people.
Mm-hmm.
So anytime something new pops up, I don't care if I ever use it again. I go on there and make the profile with CasinoATX. So you could literally Google that. If you find that, it's going to take you to me. And all roads will lead back to me with that. My company, though, is Raw with the Daw. So we have our website, www.rawwiththedaw, RAWWITDADAW, like Raw with the Digital Audio Workstation.
Gotcha.
And yeah, so that's how you can find me. And I'm on all DSPs. I'm on all of that. I'd prefer if you come to my website, but hey, you know.
For sure. That's where it's going now, man. We're going to smash the whole social media machine.
Absolutely.
Take it all back.
Yeah, no, we got to go back to it.
Mm-hmm. Well, man, I appreciate you coming down. Definitely way overdue to sit down again, man, and talk.
Absolutely.
And I definitely appreciate your perspectives, and I appreciate all of you for tuning in to Talk So Real with Matt Sonzala. Like I said, I'm Matt Sonzala, and I want to thank again City of Austin, the whole crew, KAZI, everybody who helped make this happen. I appreciate you, and we'll be on all the things too. So
yeah, we'll be on all the things.
Y'all check it out. Tell a friend, and keep on tuning in. Thank you.